Alright everyone, welcome back. Now in today's episode I'm going to be taking a look at Netflix. If you read the title you can tell that I sold out of Netflix within my Lightyear portfolio. For those unaware, I'm using the Lightyear app for my growth-based portfolio. And in a previous episode a couple of weeks ago, I broke down some of the reasons why I bought and sold certain companies. So do take a look at that if you're interested. But today we'll just be focusing on Netflix. Now my decision to sell out of Netflix was unrelated to the company itself. As a quick summary, my goal was to sell out of the Netflix position and then put more money into Lucid Motors. Now let's bring up Netflix on the screen. And so at the time when I sold out, if we go into the 1 month view here, we can actually see that Netflix was pushing up in the price. But the thing to note here was that the Q4 results of 2022 were not out at that point. And so for me, I felt it was too much of a risk. I sold at a sensible price. I think it was around $311 or so. But depending on how good or how bad the Q4 results were, that price would be reflected. The stock price could go up or back down again. And so we now have the Netflix earnings for Q4. Let's take a look at some of the stats. And then I'll be deciding whether this is a company worth buying into or selling out. Now, as I say, I have already sold out the entire portion within the Lightyear account, but I can still state whether or not this is a good buy or sell after the fact. And so we can see that the earnings per share was expected to be 45 cents per share. That actually underperformed at 12 cents per share. The revenue estimate was at 7.85 billion US dollars, and that matched expectations with a similar figure. But the key one here is the number of net subscribers. So the expectation was 4.75 million subscribers. That estimation was largely off given that 7.66 million users was actually added to Netflix platform. And so this might surprise a few people because only a few months ago when Netflix was a much lower price point, there was an issue in terms of Netflix growing, and there were a few changes that Netflix was planning on making to try and increase the number of subscribers. And so we can see that one of those changes was actually their new ad-supported service. This is the first quarter that we've seen the service included into their earnings result. If you now sign up to Netflix, you can see that there's a basic plan with adverts costing a monthly price of £4.99. The resolution is capped at 720p, and then you've got the standard and premium tiers with the different variations that you can see on the screen. Now we don't know what percentage exactly from that new sign up has been from their ad platform versus the standard or premium, but Netflix has stated that they've seen comparable engagement from both their new ad tier compared to what they've seen with their current customer base. They've also noted that people aren't actually switching plans. That could be a concern in itself if an individual is on a standard tier or even premium. If a user downgrades, then the money could be lost there. As noted, subscribers who subscribe to the premium service, there's a reason why they're in that premium tier and they don't really want to push down to any lower levels given some of the limitations. Now what's interesting here is that Spencer Newman, who is the CFO, stated that they're almost $32 billion in revenue. They wouldn't be trying to enter the ad-based business if they didn't see it as at least 10% of their revenue. Now this type of statement suggests that the ad revenue business is turning over around $3 billion, if we are to infer what Spencer stated here. That could mean that if you take 10% of those new user signups, then you're looking at 700 million potentially that have signed up with the ad-based business. Now in terms of my actions, and of course you shouldn't always look at what I do to decide what type of investment strategies you take on, but when I first purchased Netflix, we see that this was back in April of 2022 when Netflix was performing quite badly. You can see the price point here at $224. Once news broke out that they were adding a new ad business, for me this was positive. And we can see that I was somewhat conservative when I was selling out. I wasn't looking at the highest price point here. But now that Netflix is continually generating money from their ad-based business, you're going to see an increase in subscriber growth. But the problem we always have with Netflix now is that there's only a few amount of levers that the company can make. And so with those 3 tiers on the screen, if Netflix starts to struggle in terms of obtaining new subscribers, they're going to have to make another adjustment. Are they going to add a 4th tier, or will they sacrifice growth as they've done in the past and then raise the prices to still keep their revenue higher every quarter? And so when it comes to growth-based investment, generally you're looking at positive news, and ideally the price of the stock is lagging. With the market after hours, we can see the price pushed up to around $337, and so shareholders, as expected, has reacted positively to the increase in subscriber growth. But perhaps a month from now, we'll start seeing this price pushing back down again because that bar in expectation has been met, and it's a question of whether Netflix can continue to grow a certain percentage each time, or whether they're close to max capacity until they make an adjustment within their business model. Now, personally, I really like Netflix. I do hold Netflix in other platforms with substantial amounts as well. But as I say, I sold out of Netflix just so I had more capital to invest in other companies, which has a higher chance of growing in both the short and medium term. That doesn't say that anyone who holds Netflix at the moment should be selling out, given that they still do have strong fundamentals in my view. Now let me know in the comments below, what do you think about Netflix? Is this a company that you're going to keep on buying, or will you sell out some or all of your position? Do comment below. New videos are posted each week. Thanks everyone who's been subscribing to the channel. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and notifications if you want to know when I post videos. There's new content posted every week. So thanks again everyone, and with that said, I'll catch you in the next one.